Man. Where can I start with my boy JG, man? I'm gonna start back to the ninth grade when we first met, man. Staying the game at AAU, to CJ Jordan, at the Sherman Boys and Girls Club. We just instantly connected, man. At that time, he was one of the better basketball players in the state for a freshman, I believe. Not just I believe, I think the state also believes that as he was being talked about, he definitely was being talked about more than me at the time. And I was still grinding, trying to find my spot at that time. But, meeting him, it led to 15 plus years of a great friendship. One of my best friends, one of my kids' godfathers, just a great man overall. High school basketball, like I said, I gave you the breakdown on that. He did his thing, man. Without injury, I think things turn out different on the basketball side, but God don't make mistakes. I say that God don't make mistakes. I think that injury changed his trajectory on life. And look how it played out, man. Hell of a man. Uh,
One, two, three.
Showtime.
My boy Quevin Winters is down here.
Yeah, man. You got a dope quote on the wall, too. All right, man. You're here. It is Cut Talk. We back for another one. And today's one is special, man. And you gonna understand as the conversation transpires. But let me give the resume. And it's going to be hitting from many different angles today. From a coaching aspect, player aspect, fraternity aspect. I think he the first frat on here, so I want to, tap into that. And just from a dad aspect, and then last, just from family aspect. But yeah, man, let me get a resume, man. DW Wildcats, Terry Porter Elite alum. Didn't you play for DTA for a little bit, too?
Damn, you got a good memory. I did. I could touch on that,
We'll
but
throw that in there a little. Let him tell his story with that, man. Riverside class of 2010. We was just talking, bro. Riverside has some players there, man. We'll get into it. I'm about to let my man say his spiel. UWM undergraduate.
Yeah.
Prairie View A&M postgraduate.
Yeah.
Proud member of Kappa Psi Phi fraternity. I'm gonna let you get into that, man. And then in terms of coaching, bro, you the head coach at Ronald Reagan right now?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Did stints at Audubon. I want you to talk about the Audubon one, because that's big time and just what y'all was able to accomplish just with that. And then the other plug, what was some of the other ones? I know you was at Hope.
Hope Christian. And then before that, I was an assistant coach at Bryan Stratton College.
Okay, yeah. Was Chuck there?
No, but I had the same role that he's currently doing now.
Okay,
I was under this guy named Matt Mackerzak.
Okay.
Funny story.
Yeah.
There's some hitters on that staff. BG Old School was on that staff.
Man,
Troy Coleman.
Shout out to Troy, man.
You know what I'm saying? He was on that staff. And I got to give a shout out to a coach, Andy Fitzgerald, who's now at University School Milwaukee, holding it down.
Man, that's what's up, man.
A lot of stuff going on, man.
But as you heard it, man, they got the homie Josh G in the building. And we got, like I said, we got a twist at the end. And the name of the show is called Family Ties. So when we get to the end, y'all gonna understand what it is. But I want my man to tell his story, man. Just introduce him and get him on the pod, man. So Josh, man, how you feeling today, bro?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. So with these interviews, bro, I like to start from the beginning, bro. We know you from Milwaukee, but we want you to tell the people where and just your background, bro.
Man, before you even get there, I just want to give you your flowers, man.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have some hitters down here.
Yeah.
You didn't have some hitters down there, like, and I'm a year under you, and the fact that you had Troy Cotton out of nowhere, I was like, ooh, he still live here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just giving you your flowers, man.
I appreciate
but,
you, bro.
I'm here, man, to talk about the guys, too, that was just solid.
Yeah.
Just did their part on the court and off the court, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Do your thing, bro.
Yeah, for sure. So, what part of Milwaukee you from, bro?
Man, Silver Spring.
Man, shout out.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Up on the 90s.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
90th Silver Spring, 94th to be exact.
Okay. Shout out to you. Any brothers or sisters?
Yep. Between my parents, just me.
Okay.
My parents was married for some time and got a divorce. My dad got remarried, so then that's when I had additional siblings.
Okay.
So I have 2 younger brothers.
Okay. All right.
With a big age gap, 13 to 18-year-old age gap.
So how is it, bro, being the OG? You basically like the uncle, bro.
Man, uncle. Man.
Yeah.
I love every moment of it.
Yeah.
And it's good to just reflect, so when they hit bumps in the roads, we've been there before. And just giving that advice and helping them, navigate life. You know what I mean? So I love it, man. I wouldn't take nothing else for it.
Do they play ball now?
They do.
Okay.
The one right under me actually played at Reagan.
Okay.
And then he went JUCO in New York, and
Okay.
he's transferring right now.
Yeah.
So he was a part of a team in Reagan with the most wins in school history, which I'm currently trying to surpass as the current coach.
Okay, that's what's up. What's up, man. So in terms of the game, bro, and just your childhood, at what point did you get into the game, and what was you doing as a kid? Was it just basketball, or you was just all over the place with it?
For me, honestly, I basketball was my love. Around maybe 5th grade. And I know you had my boy on here, Quevin Winters. We went to elementary together.
Shout out to Quevin,
man. Yeah, man. When you talk about Sandbox, that's my boy from the Sandbox since the 1st grade.
Yeah.
And I never forget, all he used to talk about was just going to the league, and I'm talking about it too, but I was taller than him at the time, but dude was wearing like a size 11 in like 4th grade. So he's like, I'm gonna be tall. Just watch. My daddy like 6'4". I'm like, we here, but growing up doing this thing. So shout out to Q, man.
Yeah.
Love you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. But as far as myself, man, just around 4th grade, but it kind of was just basic because I was taller than everybody, believe it or not. I was tall, and my grandfather, who actually won a ring at North Division in the 60s, he was about 6'3", so rest in peace to him.
Yeah, rest in peace to him.
Yeah, so about 4th grade, man, and did the Rick Majerus camp. I won the best rebounder there.
Okay.
Playing at Kilbourne Elementary School. Teamed up with Quev. We were pretty good too. We had this guy named Terrence Bradley who ended up playing at Whitewater too. With the Nicolay. But we're pretty good, man. But I would say 5th grade. For sure when I was like, man, I love this game.
Yeah. Is that when it just started? Like it's starting to click. Like I'm decent at this. Is that when that age came around where you was like, okay, I'm comfortable?
Yes and no, because I actually was playing baseball too.
Okay.
And believe it or not, I was actually better in baseball.
Same
but
for me, bro.
But coming up, it ain't the cool thing to do coming where we come from.
Same for me, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You got your hat, you got this gloves. Like, nah, man, just get the rock with the shorts. Some T-Max, some Allen Iversons, whatever. But it started to click for me, I would say more so middle school.
Okay.
And I got to give a shout out to one of my good friends, the McLeod family, because that's
shout out to them, man. Hell, man. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to Jalen.
Jalen's one of my best friends, man.
Yeah, shout out to Jalen.
To this day, and we met playing against each other in elementary school.
Okay.
So his pops are starting to put together a team. Man. Honestly, if it wasn't for them, man, I wouldn't even be exposed to AAU basketball. So that's kind of how that transpired. Going into DW Wildcats, Jalen was playing for the Row, and I was playing for Kilbourne. And like I stated recently, I was tall, so people just kind of was like, "They ain't gonna be 6'4". Didn't happen.
Right. It's
But
all good.
I was already tall, so that's how our friendship formed, and that eventually got me into AAU with the DW Wildcats.
So Jalen played with D-Dub too?
Yep, 5th grade. Yep. And at that time too, bro, I'm balancing baseball, trying to do all of that stuff. So that year was my first year playing blacktop.
Okay,
we from Silver Spring, so blacktop right there.
Yeah.
So that same year, like we playing up.
Yeah.
So his pops kept us together. We worked on our friendship. A couple other guys too, Marcus Kirk.
Man, shout out to Marcus, man. That's one of my favorite PGs in the city,
Mark can go, man.
Shout out to Marcus, man.
So that next year, my 6th grade year, that summer going into 7th grade, it was talks of us, going to the same school and stuff like that. Like our parents started to become friends at this point. And we went to Blacktop. We went undefeated, man, and we won Blacktop.
Yeah, that's big time.
I think that same summer, Some other people recruited me. We went to go play Hoop It Up. I'm in 6th grade.
Okay.
We won Hoop It Up.
Mhm.
So then we tried to run it back the year after that. So I took runner up.
Okay.
So man, I won a lot early
Mhm.
on in my playing years,
Mhm.
you know, and sometimes that could be good, but it all could be bad. But
Right.
I ended up catching the bad of it, unfortunately, because I stopped growing.
Mm.
I was like 5'10", 5'11" in like 7th grade.
Okay.
You know, at the time,
Yeah.
the cats weren't really that tall.
Right.
It's the norm now.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So I just got to give a shout out to McLeod family, the Kirk family, and just all of those that were around at that time.
Mm-hmm. So what was the decision for middle school, bro? Was it basketball related, or they just wanted you to just go somewhere where education was good?
Yep. So I come from a family that's strong in education.
Okay.
One of them type of things you going. You know, ain't no questions asked.
For sure.
You know, moms was real big in the community, and that's kind of where I picked up that aspect of giving back, because I seen her do it so much for nothing. And I used to get mad, like, Mom, don't let them work you. Don't do all this. You ain't getting no return.
Right.
She's like, baby, I'm just doing that out of the kindness of my heart.
Yeah.
So that always stuck with me. You know what I mean? Because I used to, you know, see the good and the bad out of those situations. And you know, just man, just a big family guy. Both sides. You know, it's kind of rare for people too.
Right.
You know, I love both of my sides equally, man. And I'm real big on the grandparent tip, all my cousins. But like you mentioned, we'll get in that later. But it was all about education, man. I went to Lincoln Center of the Arts.
Okay.
Where it was a great, phenomenal school.
Keep going, but
yeah,
what we talked about before, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's funny that you had James Pugh on here.
Oh yeah, shout out to Louis.
And he mentioned he went to Lincoln.
Yeah.
And I saw a dude play in the 6th grade because I got an uncle that's not too far from me in age. You know, it's like a big brother to me because, you know, I grew up, it was just me for the most part. So he played a big part in my life. And, you know, he was into music and stuff like that. But in middle school, he did hoop. But he ain't take it serious. But I do remember this dude out there killing. I'm like, yo, Unc, who's number so-and-so? He's like, oh, dude, James? Yeah, he's only in the 6th grade. He be cooking everybody. So I'm like, damn. Man. Eventually, dude ended up being, you know, playing that king and stuff like that. But I went to Lincoln.
Okay.
All 3 years.
Okay.
I played 7th grade team when I was 6th grade.
Okay.
And 8th grade, you know, they had 6th and 7th grade team, and then just the 8th grade team. So when I was in the 7th grade, I ended up playing the 8th grade team. So I always played up basically through those years.
Okay, and then because you said you was bigger for your size when you was younger, would they have you playing? Did they still have you playing the guard spot, or you was doing inside, outside? Where was you playing?
Man, you know, in middle school, man, the science teacher, the coach.
Oh yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Wasn't no structure.
They just
with
need
that.
a body, bro.
Yeah, just you know, man, just I just got the ball and was doing my thing.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so it was some great competition 8th grade. But that's when my boy Jalen left. And that's the transition where he went to Germantown. That's all of that started. That's all of that started. So I'm left playing by myself.
Okay.
One of the best games I played 8th grade year I remember was against Chim Kadima. He was at
MSL. Shout out to Chim, man. Yeah,
he was at MSL. And if you're watching this, you know I gave you a dub, but you gave me like 30 though. But we good. We good though. So
shout out to bro.
Shout out to Chim, man. Real good dude. Real good family as well, man.
Yeah.
So.
All right, man. So you do your thing there, man. Do your thing at Lincoln. Now, in terms of picking a school, like, because you say you stayed off 94th in Silver Spring. The closest high school, I think Madison, like the closest one.
Yeah, Madison.
So what was the options for high school, bro?
So it was talks about me trying to go to Germantown.
Okay.
But at this point, my mom's is a single mom.
Oh, okay.
So if you watch the show like All American, it was that type of situation where we were trying to make arrangements where I could kind of go out there with the McLeods.
Was 220 available for you? Or
no, I was just gonna like use an address, but like I said, it was like family at this point. But I always had that back in my head, like I can't just leave mom's. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a big part, and she was kind of like, you know, a big part of my success on the court and off the court.
For sure.
So ended up going to Riverside. I know Tech was an option.
Okay.
But they had just had a big riot. So mom's was like, hell no, you ain't going there.
Yeah.
So had a test in the Riverside and all of that. I didn't know nobody going there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At this point, my friend group is going to Nicolay.
Okay.
Which I skipped over. My 8th grade year, I played with the Spartans with Miles, Henry,
Yeah, shout out to Miles, man. I ain't heard that name in so long, man. Yeah, shout out to
you're
bro.
Gonna hear about these 2010
today,
man. So Clem Robinson was on there, Jarrell James, and I mentioned a guy, Terrence Bradley, who I was at elementary school with. He was the reason why I got on the Spartans. And funny story, to get on the team, Miles' dad was a coach. I came late. It was probably 2 months left into the season. And my guy brought me up there. And he was like, only way you could play on this team, I'm going to be honest with you, we full, but I'll let you play on this team if you beat my son one-on-one. And it happened to be Miles. At this point, I was dunking off 2 feet. He was taller than me. He was probably like 6 foot already. So I'm like, okay, where he at? You know. So eventually we played one-on-one. And I ended up winning. And that's how I had to get on the Spartans when I was in the 8th grade. It's funny though, me and Miles cool, but dog ain't talked to me for like 2 weeks when I was on the team. You know what I mean? So we had some other guys on there too. We had some other guys on there too that could play. They ended up going to Tech.
Where was y'all practicing at the Silver Spring Center? Y'all was somewhere else?
Yeah, it was at Silver Spring.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you make the decision, you go to, and I'm just thinking of the logistics of it, because the Riverside on the east side and you all the way on the west side. What was just the commute, bro? How was that, bro? Just making that commute every morning.
Man, you know, I had a bus that came and got me.
Really?
The bus came all the way out there. I don't think it would do it today. But the bus, man, it was like a 30-minute, maybe 40, bro. Maybe 40. With all the stops they had to make after me.
Yeah, with the traffic too.
But no, man. Overall, high school was fun for me. But my middle school life was fun too. Like, arts at that time was just fun. We were kids, man. I took theater class, woodshop class, video tech, which is now IT. So I was exposed to many different things. I was in the drum line in middle school. I was in the choir. We went to New York. So I'm in New York in the 7th grade singing on Broadway. Can't sing, just did it just to do it. You know what I mean?
Never wrong with that, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm in high school now. And, like I said, I don't know nobody there. I try out. And it's funny, I ended up making freshman. But I didn't play a game on freshman. I made freshman. And then after the first freshman practice, they was like, nah, you over here. So my freshman year at Riverside, I actually played JV. And I actually ended up starting the whole year. So
speak on that.
That's when JV was like literally junior varsity basketball. And just to give you a list of names at that time, I know Charlie Westbrook. I know everybody called him Wookie. He was a senior. I was a freshman. We had Rufus Phillips there.
Shout out to him.
Little Danny was there, man.
Yeah, man. Speak on him one time, bro.
Man, dude was so cold. He was so cold. I think sometimes he don't get lost in the shuffle, but if you know type of thing. Right. As soon as you hear that name and you see dude's face. And he was a bully in school. I thought that was the funniest thing. Like, he was the bully in school. Like, when you see dude in the hallway, literally people wouldn't walk that way. When who he with, people wouldn't walk that way. So I was aware of that and stuff. But, you know, once you gain Hooper respect.
You know how that go.
And that's kind of what it was with him. My boy Melvin Cook. That name don't get brought up enough.
Another hitter, bro.
That name don't get brought up enough. Big Jern. Isaac Wadajo, Big Gary. Big Gary, I know you're going to tap
shout out to Gary, man.
Big Gary was there. Big Paul.
Shout out
Sean
to Paul
Taylor.
too.
Just a couple names, man, that don't get mentioned that was there. That was solid for sure. So it was just a jungle there, man. Just everybody grinding and fighting. And then we did end up getting a couple transfers, which I'm sure we'll tap into.
We'll get into it later.
So my freshman year, man, I played JV. Started at the 4 at 5'11". Which was crazy with Coach Rock. But I remember I had one memorable game, dude, and we played King, which is our rival. At King, and I missed the 4 free throws to win the game. Man, I went in there and cried for the first time in the locker room. But what's funny is one of the homies that told me to keep my head up was Lil Danny. You know what I'm saying? Going into the next season, I'm looking forward to playing with him and the rest of those guys. But before we even get there, I played with Stay in the Game, AAU.
Man, shout out to them.
Man, with CJ, Curtis Weathers.
The summer freshman going into sophomore year, you played with them? Okay.
So now, Stay in the Game, a phenomenal program. And looking back, I think what stood out the most is those guys kind of move how I'm moving today as an adult,
Yeah.
tied in with the basketball.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
kind of funny how things unfold, man. But Curtis Weathers, people really don't know today, but back in the man, he was a plug.
Oh yeah.
He was a plug.
Yeah.
You had your Wards, your Dales with Rebels. You had Marty with DTA. But with staying in the game, you had CJ and Curtis Weathers. And for those that were around, like they know that.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
our 15U team was really good. Our 15U, that's when my boy Big Roy came in the fold. We had this dude named LJ. Light skin, you know LJ?
What school did you go
LJ was
to?
cold, Brookfield Academy. I forget his real name.
Oh, Jordan.
Jordan
man,
was
that's
on
my
there.
bro, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so Jordan
shout
was
out
on
to
that
Jordan,
team.
man.
Jordan was on there.
Yeah, shout out to Jordan.
And then this one of my other best friends hopped in the fold, Silas Mills.
Shout out to Silas,
So Silas
too, man.
hopped in
That's
on
some
that
names
team.
over there.
Yeah. So that was kind of the makeup of our 15,
Yeah.
man. And some other guys, Jaleel Goodwin, my guy
Yeah, shout out
this
to
day.
Jalil, too.
You
Yeah.
know, so we had a really good summer together, man. And the talks was to try to keep this team together and things like that. But we ended up getting a sponsorship. But we can get into that after we talk about how my sophomore year went.
Was y'all still staying in the game, or was y'all Terry Porter elite at that
16U got to Terry Porter
time?
elite.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's when it was a jungle in
Yeah.
practice. And I'm going to speak on why.
Okay.
Because we had the older team there as well.
Okay.
And there's some hitters on that team.
Yeah.
So
I got you. So play with stay in the game, man. Have a good summer with them. Now we got to fast forward to sophomore year. You back at Riverside, bro. What's the dynamic?
man, I ain't going to lie. I'm on JV again. I don't know why. But at this point, I think it's talks about new coaching coming in the fold. And everybody knew at the time that Coach Rock was going to get it. So I think he was trying to keep a group together that was going to be made by the time we were juniors. So I played half that season on JV. I averaged probably about 20, 25. For those that's watching, ain't no cap. You know, I sent you the articles on that.
Yeah.
Ain't no
You
cap.
ain't lying, man.
Cap,
You got all the stuff in my phone, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I ended up getting moved up my sophomore year. I didn't play until playoff time.
Okay.
But what's weird is, I guess Coach Luck tried to prove a point to his upperclassmen, and they started me the playoff game against Custer, and that's when we going against old school.
That's bogus, bro.
Calvin Godfrey. That's another 2010.
Yeah.
Man.
Shout out to Calvin, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I actually started that game. So we ended up lose, but with the fact that I got to start a playoff game my sophomore year, so.
I'm gonna pause you right there, bro, because that Custer team that year was cold. We played them twice in the preseason, won one, lost one, and to bring somebody who ain't got no experience yet into the fold, and that's your first game, that's rough, bro. Like that, Julian, School, Burns, Calvin. It's another cat I miss. I think Rentez was there. I want to say
we're gonna
maybe
tap
next
on Rentez
year.
too. Yeah.
Like they had some hitters, bro. So that ain't right, man. T.O. You keep going, bro.
Yeah.
keep going, man.
Yeah, man. So and it was at Custer. I ain't gonna lie. It was
That's
cracking in the
worse.
stands.
Yeah,
it was cracking. It kind
yeah.
of gave me them early 2000 vibes.
Yeah.
That's probably some of the best
They
basketball in the city.
was good
you know what
that
I mean?
that
So
season.
we end up losing that game. Long story short, then I'm hearing we get the deal with Terry Porter Elite. So our 15U team is still together from the year before, but that got a little twist. We had full blown tryouts. You know how AAU go.
Yeah.
Trying to strengthen the team, and I understood that. So going into 16U, now we Terry Porter Elite. So now Rory getting cold.
Yeah.
Like jumping out the gym.
Yeah.
Silas getting taller. Devereaux actually played with us because he was
Shout out-
younger.
Yeah.
He was
Shout out to
younger.
Devereaux.
So he's like my age, but a grade older. So
Funny.
Devereaux was on that team.
Funny story with bro. So like I'm younger too. Like the whole summer, I'm like whatever. So if I'm playing 15U, I was 14 the whole summer.
Okay.
So Devereaux, I think he played with Playground Elite for a summer, and I practiced with them because I was the same age as all them. So yeah, shout out to Devereaux, man. Another dude who was at Custer, who was cold, man.
Yeah.
Man, go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So then to stay on that,
Yeah.
now Rentez come.
Yeah,
He on
yeah,
the team, and at this point he went from like 6'1" to like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
So now we got him. We got this guy named Cortland. Cortland was our point guard that went to King.
Okay. Yeah.
Jaleel on that team.
Yeah.
My guy Trey Kinlow was on that team.
Okay, yeah.
Trey Kinlow
Another
was on
underrated cat,
Yep,
bro. Another underrated cat.
Yep. So now we looking at starting five was probably I was a six man on that team.
Okay.
So the starting five was probably Silas, Rentez, Roy.
Yeah.
I forgot I was at the two. Sometimes I started at the two.
Mm-hmm.
Then our point guard was Cortland.
That's
So
a nasty
we was
little
solid.
lineup, man.
We was
yeah.
solid, man.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm missing somebody. LJ didn't play with us that year. I wish he did.
Okay.
I wish he did. That would have made it even more worse. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So, yep, that was 16U, man. We did all right.
Yeah.
But let me tell you who was on the 17U, who we practicing against
Yeah,
at the Boys
yeah.
and Girls Club on
Mhm.
Sherman. Trent, Mike
Mhm.
Weems,
Shout out to them, man.
Bird.
I was on that team for one tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bird was on that team.
Yeah.
Light skin Monte.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Monte too, bro. Yeah.
I forget who else was on their team. A couple Washington cats, but
Mm-hmm.
they had some dogs on
Yeah.
that team, man. But we all just iron sharpen iron, man.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
just making each other better, bro. So
Yeah.
that was a good experience, man.
Mhm.
So we traveled together. I think
Yeah.
that was the first time. Now I'm getting Nike bags, Nike all of this.
Mhm.
And we on the coach bus. We went to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Practiced at the playing at the University of Pittsburgh. The most memorable tournament was at the University of Akron.
Mm.
But I ain't gonna speak too much on it. But we snuck out and went to a frat party.
Okay.
And 16U and 17U, and man, some of the best times, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we was literally in Akron. We was
Yeah.
at the King James tournament. That
Okay,
was popular
yeah,
back
yeah.
then, man. So, just AAU, man, just kind of brought people together,
Mm-hmm.
and kids from the inner city get to travel and
Yeah,
see
yeah,
outside of
yeah,
Milwaukee,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, that was 16U experience, man. Going into junior year.
And you gotta have some hype and some confidence, bro. You got
Yeah.
something like that with
Yeah.
them guys,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually come in starting
Mm-hmm.
now on varsity after playing the playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
And, I didn't start the whole year, but I started half of the year, and then I ain't gonna lie, Isaac Wadajo took my spot. He was a senior,
Mm.
so he ended up starting. So I started subbing in for him in the
Okay.
beginning. He was subbing in for me, but we didn't do good that year. That was Rock's first year as a head coach.
Okay.
We didn't do good at all, but we had so much talent, man.
Yeah.
So much talent, man. And that's when this guy TJ comes in the fold. He
Mhm.
class of 2011, but TJ wasn't what TJ became at
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
His name Tristan White, for those that don't know.
Oh man,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, so
Shout out to bro,
yeah, we
man.
called him
Another
TJ.
underrated cat,
Yeah,
man.
so we called him TJ, man. So that season kind of just came and went, bro.
Was Danny was gone by that time, or
Yeah.
he was gone? Okay,
Yeah.
he's still
Yep, that's when he was at North.
okay. So what was the vibe when you heard that he transferring? Was it like like it's up now, like it's
Man,
wrong?
it was bad because we had a really good fall league.
Mhm.
It was me and Melvin was hooping together.
Oh, so he played that summer with y'all, or that
that
fall? With
Nah.
okay.
He was supposed to, so
He-
that's when I'm in the lineup, and then now my boy Sean Taylor in the lineup, or it's
Okay.
Gunsby, or it's
Yeah.
Isaac. We just had so many pieces,
Yeah.
man, and I think that was part of the problem of managing all the pieces,
Mhm.
to the best of your abilities. And now being on the other side, that was a challenging experience.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
But we didn't do good at all that year, man.
Mhm.
And we all the talent, but we just
Yeah.
couldn't put it together.
Yeah.
And that same year, Melvin Cook not playing the whole season.
Yeah.
So we just had a lot of domino effects. We lost our two good best players
Mhm.
within 6 months from each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and you got Coach Rock doing his thing his first year, thinking he gonna have the horses,
Right.
and
Right.
that shit all unfold
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
the season was even over. But that's kind of the struggles that you face in PS schools. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it is what it is. So that's right.
So now, bro, y'all had that year that unfortunately didn't go your way. Now you go that summer. Do you go back to stay in the game or Terry Porter Elite, or do you go somewhere else?
So I guess they felt that we underachieved as a group. So they wanted a new coach, and they kind of wanted like a new team to kind of take, but they still
Yeah.
kept, who they wanted. And
Yeah.
I actually went to try out,
Yeah.
but they was like, nah, we want new guys.
Mm.
So at this point, I'm 17U.
Yeah.
What's going on at this time? Now I got colleges, which
Yeah.
we talked about, and I
Yeah.
was showing you and stuff. So I was like a Division III type of dude. So
Yeah.
all the WIAC schools kind of wanted me around, the Stouts, everybody except Stevens Point, because Stevens
Yeah.
Point was a powerhouse. Carthage had a D2. Augustana College was in South Dakota.
That's a really good look.
Yeah, but at this point, they wanted a whole new squad. So what happened, man? I don't have a team at this point. I don't have a team, so man, God works in mysterious ways. I'm at the barbershop with one of my OGs.
Yeah.
And he know I can hoop, and he just pumping me up. And the guy he cutting, like, oh, you say Little Dog Cold? Well, my best friend is Big Rob. Big Rob from Marquette.
Yeah.
So he over this team called DTA. Everybody know DTA.
Yeah.
Right? So he said, I'm going to give you his number. And you call him and you figure out from there. So I talked to him. I end up, the team was already set. At this point, it's like April. You know what I'm saying? So again, I go there. Big Rob wasn't there, but he set it up with Corey Pops. You know what I'm saying? So Corey Lucius Pops.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. It was cool. So same thing I endured when I went to the Spartans.
Yeah.
But you got to play so-and-so to get on the team.
Yeah.
So here we go. The first dude I had to play was my guy C-Ron, which is a younger brother of Creon.
Man, what? They from my neighborhood too, man.
Yeah, man.
Too small, man.
C-Ron,
shout out to both of them,
man.
bro. Keep your head up, C-Ron.
Yeah. So C-Ron on our team. So I beat C-Ron. Then I got this guard from up north. And I guess he was supposed to be like the next up.
Yeah.
This is his first year with the team.
Okay.
A twist to that is he's Tom Izzo nephew. So I had to beat him to get on the team, and I did.
Yeah.
So now I'm on DTA.
Yeah.
So
I know the confidence got to be sky high, bro.
man, it was, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I'm decent. Why I got to go through all this to get on the team? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm solid. Like, I got colleges that want me. You know what I'm saying? But at that point, I play. Now my confidence is high. Because, you know, growing up, DTA was a shit.
Yeah, for sure.
If you play on DTA, you legit.
You stamp,
You stamp. So now I'm feeling like I'm a little stamp. So open gym starting to happen at Riverside, you know, in the off season. So now I'm feeling my confidence. I feel like I'm getting better, man. This is where it's like, I think I'm finna turn the corner for real. You know, I'm dunking with ease now. I'm starting to use my right hand a little bit finally. You know what I mean? And things is just looking good, man. And then the day before my birthday in Summer League, was actually playing Dominican. First game. So shout out to Mikael Luter. He was on that team.
Yeah, shout out to bro.
Yup. So the first game, man, I got hurt. At the time, I didn't know what it was, man, but I'm on the ground. I can't get up, man. And I'm glad I'm sharing this because this is the pivotal moment, not only in on my basketball career, but in my life.
Yeah.
Man, I tore my ACL when it was unheard of.
And you didn't even know you did it.
Before D Rose, all of that. And you see D Rose tear it. This is 2009.
Yeah.
So you see D Rose tear, you see he never became the same.
Yeah.
So this is the day before my birthday. So I'm spending my 17th birthday in the hospital, about to get operated on. So the recovery, now my confidence went from here. Now it's like, man, I don't even want to do nothing at all no more. You know what I'm saying? But you know, coming from that foundation, bro, my family kept me lifted. Extended family, my friends, people were coming by to see me. You know what I mean? And that was, I ain't gonna say that was it, but I kind of knew. I kind of knew I wasn't gonna be the same.
Yeah.
I tried to come back. That happened June 2nd. I'll never forget it. Dude, you know, workouts and stuff starting.
Early.
Around that time, you know, if not September, October. So I made the team, but I was gonna play. I was a returner. So I'm on the team, and I tried to come back sooner, man. And you know, ACL takes 9 months. At that point, it took a year. I tried to come back like in 7 months. I played, you know, but Rock was like, man, I can't play you. I was so mad at him. I was so mad at Rock, man.
Did you feel like, okay, I'm healed, or was it like, this shit hurt like crazy, but I'm gonna still try to?
It was a little bit of both. Man. It was a little bit of both, man. But you know, that passion and that hunger to be out there with your guys, man, that you've been playing with the last 3-4 years. And it's my last year.
Right.
And now I don't hear nothing from no colleges no more. Damn. You know, I'm not playing AAU no more. So I played with DTA April, May. I think that was it. About 4-5 tournaments. June is Summer League. You know that I got hurt in June. So I couldn't even go to Vegas.
And that's where
Vegas.
you want to go to, like.
I couldn't even go to Vegas to go hoop with DTA, man. I couldn't even do it. So, I'm on crutches, and they was like, you can still come.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I ain't finna just hop around on that
Right,
strip.
right.
I'm good, man. At that point, I was kind of hitting, not a depression, but I just didn't want nothing to do with it, man.
Mhm.
So senior year come around, man. I'm not playing that much at all. I probably checked in maybe 12 games. 12 games. But it was instances where before the season started, I did tweak something, and Rock caught it. I tried to cover it up.
Yeah.
Because I was going to be in rotation.
Yeah.
Probably cracked the starting spot. Till my boy Rashad Peterson Brown came.
Shout out to
man.
Shad,
I hope
bro,
you watch
man.
this too, man.
Shout out to Shad, man. That's my bro.
You could have kept your ass at Dominican.
Hey,
man.
we wanted him, man. That was the plan, man.
Yeah, man. Good dude, man. Good dude.
For sure.
So Rashad is there playing.
Yeah.
Our team is we nice now.
Mm-hmm.
So the season we just had before, we even better. So I still play, but I played nothing the minutes like I played the year before. Remember, I was starting half the season, and I was doing good. Like I started to get college looks. You know what I'm saying? So everything just changed, man. But I knew I wasn't gonna be the same. I just knew it.
Yeah.
Everything was a step slower. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is when the ACL was unheard of, for real. So finished the year out. But at the time, it was mad at Coach Rock. But looking back, he had a job to do.
Yeah.
And putting me out there probably would have been risky.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm not 100%. But, I still play. I still practice. I'm killing in practice, like dying and crying for a spot, like talking shit, man. Like, yo. You know what I'm saying? But I still play. But that humbled me, though. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes why I got success on a coaching aspect.
Yeah.
Because now that senior, I got a time to see the game from a different lens. You know what I mean? So, and we'll get into that later, you know what I mean? But I just start to see the game different.
Yeah.
And my mom told me, like, maybe you'll be a coach one day.
Yeah.
My grandpa, they was like, hey, stay with it. You could be a journalist one day. I'm like trying to hear that, though, at 17.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I did end up going to college. Like I said, it wasn't for basketball, though.
Yeah.
But I took a visit to Lane College.
Was that for hoops or just to...
So check it out. I'm out there on my visit, and I meet the coach. I didn't have no film, no nothing, because I hurt. I hurt myself. So he like, okay, I'm gonna give you a tryout when you come here for a walk-on spot. So I'm staying there for 3 days. So they had like an open gym.
Okay.
So the coach ended up liking me.
Yeah.
So now this is what, July. Man, I get on campus in August. He got, he gone. So I'm like, man, God gave me another opportunity to play the sport that I love.
So you went down. You was down there already.
I was down there. All the way in Jackson, Tennessee, man. HBCU. That's why I love HBCU, man. Just down there at Lane. I was gonna play. I was gonna walk on.
Yeah.
And at the point, man, my biggest thing, I never wanted to go to NBA. I just wanted to play college ball.
Right,
obviously D1. But Lane was D2. So at this point, I retooled my game. Like I'm not a slide. Now I'm more of a shooter at this point and things like that because I was scared to get the contact. So I retooled my game and stuff like that. He liked it. Told me to come down. But I was going down for school regardless. That was just another motivation to be there. And I knew I could compete with those guys. And at some point, if I didn't play freshman year, I knew I was going to play the year after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that didn't happen. So I'm in Lane for one semester. Some bonehead stuff kicked off. And now I'm back at the crib.
Okay.
So now I'm back at the crib my freshman year. And I think that's why I decided to let basketball go. Because I got a second opportunity, man.
Yeah.
And that one was my fault that I tripped off.
Yeah.
That one was my fault.
Let me ask you, bro. How was it just knowing, okay, it's time I let this go? What was that, just you battling that, bro? What was that like?
That one didn't hurt as much, bro.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I dealt with the worst of it at a young age, tearing the ACL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I dealt with the worst of it at that point.
Were you completely healed down there, or was it still kind of, are you all good?
Here's a kicker, man. I'm in the South, so now I feel good.
Yeah.
You know, you in that
heat.
That
warm weather,
it was up here. Our basketball season December, 10 degrees. January, 2 degrees. You know what I'm saying? It was
10 degrees warm in the summer and in the wintertime.
Yeah, man. So now I'm feeling good. I'm feeling healed now.
Yeah.
And I just knew I was gonna play down there. But like I said, God gave me a second chance, man. And I can honestly say, as an adult, that's one that I messed up.
Yeah.
that I messed up. So God gave me another opportunity to play college ball, and I messed that one up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at that point, I just focused on school.
Mm.
I'm at UWM,
Mm.
and I just finished it out, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. So you get the degree, and now after you get your degree, was it like, let me go get a job, or let me go to post, let me, you know what I'm saying, let me get my master's degree? What was the balance with that, bro?
Yep. So, man, it's funny. I end up getting an internship my senior year.
Mm.
So here I am again, not knowing what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Because at this point, academically,
Yeah.
I only got accepted into 2 colleges.
Okay.
Way before.
Mm.
So now I'm geeked because I'm like, man, I got an opportunity to really go lead a state and make some good money.
Yeah.
You know, and at that point, I wasn't too familiar with what an internship could do for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I always heard about it.
Get you in the door, bro.
Yeah. So at this point, man, right after graduation, I work in corporate to go intern for Principal Financial Group.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, if you see a P sign, if you watch ESPN, that little P on the commercials, it's a financial institution. And I went there, man, making good money. Did my role good.
Okay.
So they ended up hiring me full time.
Man, how is it breaking into that corporate world? Because it's different, bro. Working in corporate, bro, like you got to have a different mindset, especially if it's sales related or something. Yeah. I don't know, but just speak on that, man, making that transition, dude.
Man, that transition was rough because I didn't even mention, right after I graduated a week after, I moved out to Des Moines, Iowa. So I had to pack all my bags. Family helped me out, took me down, took my car. So now I'm down there. They pay for the hotel. They pay for everything. So this is like Northwest Mutual here.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything downtown is ran by this financial institution. So they had money. They hosted golf charity clubs, all of that. And I would say for my internship experience, the dopest thing that I've done is I did a team speech. They put us in teams, and we did a speech about what we learned financially in front of the CEO of the company.
Okay.
So, not too many people said, man, they met and spoke and shook hands, let alone I'm doing a whole presentation to this guy about his company, the CEO at the time. So that was a good experience, man. And they ended up hiring me full time.
Okay.
And now you couldn't tell me nothing. I'm making good money. You couldn't tell me nothing. Man. Yeah, we say.
How old was you at the time, bro?
I'm only 23, 24.
Oh, yeah,
at this
definitely.
Time. I'm only 23, 24 at this time. I got an apartment overlooking the golf course in the suburb part out there. I'm working. I'm hopping off private jets. We going different universities, recruit people. So that was the first time I flew a private jet from Des Moines, Iowa to Milwaukee. We got here in 35 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I learned a lot. But once you in something that you're not passionate about, it starts to eat at you, man. And I'm glad I went through that early on. Yeah. That I wasn't a cubicle, corporate guy. I learned that early on in life, man. So I took a gamble and bet it on myself. Yeah. But if you notice the pattern here, everything I done basketball wise, I always bet on myself. Had to play somebody, get on the team. Had to do this. You know what I mean? So. Betting on myself was always just a thing that I've done. Because growing up, I didn't have that handler. My dad, he didn't know much about basketball, but he loved the game. But he didn't know that. Oh, I have to actually be a voice for you to kind of get where you need to go. You get them. So everything I did was just me. You know, or McLeod's a plug me. Now at this point, I'm meeting different parents that helped me out. But mainly I took risks on myself. And that's something that I truly like about myself because I'm not afraid to say, hey, if something ain't working, I fix up a plan, let me do something else. You know what I'm saying? But just grinding. That's just grinding, you know, and I think that's what basketball and my upbringing showed.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure. So now, bro, you got to walk us through the stages of your life where you're doing well in the corporate setting, bro. Move out to Iowa. When does Prairie View come around, man? When does that come around?
Man, Prairie View actually don't come around until years later, like during the pandemic. So at that point, just to backtrack to lead up to that, I came back, man. I had no job. My cousin was doing, we had a family business, so it was like a, man, what's that business called where it's like women give out Pampers, free medical support, all of that stuff.
I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about. So we had a family
business like that, man. I did really well. And man, they had me just filing paperwork. So, cuz plugged me. I came right away. So everything she need me to do, hey, I need you to drop this client off here, or I need you to file this paperwork. And she paid me like every week though.
Okay.
But I'm
Decent.
I'm still like, man, I ain't found it. I ain't find it yet.
Yeah.
I ain't find it yet. So I just put my mind together, man. I applied for this job at Bryan and Stratton.
Okay.
As a financial aid advisor.
Okay.
Mind you, I just came from
that world.
finance.
Yeah. You know that world.
I thought it went hand in hand. So I go there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where I'm starting to get into the coaching fold now. So I'm there. I'm excited. I'm at Bryan and Stratton. I wasn't doing nearly as well financially as I was doing, in the corporate setting. So I'm there. I'm enjoying the work I do. And I think this is around the time, like, man, I want to stay in education. I wasn't sure yet, but I'm going to stay around for a minute.
Yeah.
So during that process, I found out they had a basketball team. Yep. So at this point, I already have, about a year of coaching experience with my little brother with AAU at this point.
Okay.
With the Young Legends.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was around the time. And the head coach at Bryan and Stratton office was like around the corner.
Okay.
And I was hounding him every day, but he was never there.
Yeah.
So the moment he was there, we talked, we hit it off right away. And shout out to Matt Mackerzak. That's his name. He's at Northern Michigan now, which is a D2. So he said, I don't know what I can pay you, but you're more than welcome to come.
Yeah.
And work out with the guys and help where needed. So that's when I start to meet, the OG BG from Washington. He on the staff. Troy Coleman, super cool. I call him up to this day. Yeah. He on that staff. And this guy named Andy Fitzgerald, who's now at University School as the head coach. Yeah. And then there's Matt Mackerzak. So I'm around all these great basketball minds, man. So, man, I think they paid me like $250 a month, which was cool.
I mean, it's
but
a
at
start.
that time, I was like a graduate.
You getting something.
Yeah, I was like a graduate assistant. But, man, it was just good that he accepted me, man. I didn't know how the conversation would go. At the time, they was sponsored by Under Armour, so he'd drop me off all the gear for free. I got a bag of all that stuff. So practice was at like 6 in the morning, but I had to work at 8. So I leave early, shower, and then go straight to work. So I couldn't travel to every game because my manager was like, well, we didn't hire you for this.
Right.
But they just stamped off on it because I was doing a good job, you feel me? So that's how I got exposed to, like, really, really coaching and what it really, really took to win. So we went 28-6 or 7 that year at Bryan and Stratton. Now, at that time, Chuck and them just succeeded that.
Yeah.
But at that time, that was like the best record at that time in that school. And in fact, we were so good that coaching staff split up. Right away, Coach Mack got a job offer. D2 from right away.
That's what's up.
So then see, dude, so cold. Got me thinking about dude. Troy Coleman goes somewhere else. I don't know where BG went. And then the other guy that was on the staff, he went to a college program.
Okay.
So that's how good that we were. Yeah. And myself, I ended up moving on. That's where Hope Christian come into play.
Okay, speak on Hope, man. Yeah. Speak on them.
So I worked there for 3 years. I was the athletic director and the college advisor. Yeah. Which what I do today. Just is now in a different company at NPS. So I'm there. I'm the AD. We get a new coach. I don't know if you know Antoine Parks. He OG. They call him Tonto.
I probably know him if I see him.
Yep. So he's the head coach at the helm at this time, and Johnny Dismore is his assistant. Okay. So they went like 500 that year, but this is also the year of COVID. This is 1920 now. Oh yeah. So now we had 1920. Year cut short, whatever, blah blah blah. The next year we did have a season, but they only played like 7 games. Fast forward to 2021. So then they ended up losing their coach. And I was the AD. So mind you, man, this is literally how I started getting into coaching. Literally, I had no intent on coaching high school basketball. But since I was in the building, on helping kids, and it was a small community on at Hope, family, so siblings go there together, cut all of that. So, man, a group of kids off that team was like, Coach, why don't you just coach us? You already doing AAU. You could bring some of your AAU players here. They had it all cooked up. Yeah. And at this time, I had no girl. I had no kids, nothing. And I told them kids, man, give me 24 hours to think about it, and I'll get back to y'all tomorrow. Yeah. All you need to know, man, that 24 hours was history. That's how my coaching journey as a head coach really started.
Let me ask you, bro, in them 24 hours, what made your decision clear? Okay, I'm going to take this job, bro. What was it?
I would say the itch to be back around it.
Okay.
Yes, I was around that Brian Stratton,
Yeah.
but I was part-time.
Yeah.
Helping out with AAU, so I was starting to find that love again that I had lost. You know what I mean? So, and then the kids was good kids, man.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and for them to have asked me, that meant a lot. Man.
Right,
So,
right.
a lot of people might be like, man, you didn't even try to interview people, which we did, but the kid, it just wasn't working out. So at that point, they're like, Coach, who we got? I'm like, we still working on it. You know, I ain't telling them so-and-so came here from. We still working on it. So at that point, they like asked me. I made my decision. So that year, all you need to know, man, I treated it like college.
Yeah.
Cause I had that experience. All you need to know, dude, I literally got 15 to 18 new kids. Because I seen how them dudes was bull crapping during 21-21 season.
Yeah.
Not coming to school, not taking a COVID test.
Yeah.
Now, yes, it was a lot, but we got to think NPS wasn't even playing.
Yeah.
And we at school in the inner city Milwaukee, we not even trying to take this opportunity, and we was in the Midwest Conference Classic.
Yeah.
You know, with Brookfield Academy and stuff like that. So I got new players, man. I'm going to touch on his name, George Highshaw.
Man, shout out to OG.
Man. I hope you watch this at some point,
shout out
man.
to George, man.
Yep.
Funny dude.
Yeah. So I had his nephew.
Yeah,
which is why I brought him up. So his nephew was an incoming freshman at that time. And I brought in a bunch of other new guys, man. And fast forward, we played at the Fiserv. And we had the best record in school history. We went 21-4 the year. That's my first year a head coach. So
that's big time, bro. First year.
Yep. So we was in the newspaper.
Yeah.
All of that, man. But what messed us up, we got news in January that the school was closing in June. So let that sink in. We all riled up. We like, man, we doing good. And at that point, we were only losing one senior. So to go 21-4,
nuts.
And D4, everybody knew, or most people knew, that we were going to go upstate the next year.
Yeah.
It was undeniable.
Yeah.
And the year after that.
Yeah.
Because that year we went 21-4. I played one senior, 2 juniors, 6 sophomores, and 1 freshman, which happened to be George Highshaw's nephew. So just through coaching me and George, OG, we developed a good bond of that because he liked the way, I looked after his nephew. And how I look after all the kids, man. So there's no malicious intent with me. I just want these kids to succeed, man, and reach their goals, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it, man. So from there, school closed.
What was the reason for the closing?
They claimed because of finances.
Because it's a small school.
Yeah. But they knew what the finances looked like before you opened it up that year.
Was it tuition to go there?
Nope. Choice, free. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But that destroyed the community.
Yeah.
Because the kids that live in the area.
Yeah.
They dropped their sibling off on at the other location and then walk on over. You know what I'm saying? So now I got to go find a new gig. All the kids got to find a new school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now they got to be uncomfortable along with their family to make the best decision for them. So I got offers from, at that point, St. Augustine Prep wanted me.
Yeah.
University School. Shout out to Lou Chapman because Lou Chapman was on
it.
Man, I got some hitters for you, man. So
shout out to Lou, man.
Lou Chapman was on the staff that year because we were in the same conference. And he told me that he was there. It was interim position, but he liked what I was doing, and he wanted me to come and take over. I just didn't know. I just didn't feel like at that time in the season of my life, I wasn't ready for a prominent position like university school.
Yeah.
Now, let's be real.
That's
man.
a different
tuition, like $30,000.
Different atmosphere.
30,000, man.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I took a tour there and everything, man. It didn't feel right.
Yeah.
It didn't feel right. Great school, great program, but at that time, it just wasn't for me. Racine Lutheran reached out.
Okay.
They wanted me to come out there. Obviously, I'm not doing that commute.
Yeah, that's it.
Man, like 2 more schools, man. But I knew it wasn't about me. I was very clear who wanted me for me and who wanted me because I had these kids up and coming. You know what I'm saying? So people wanted me to get these kids.
Yeah, you're going to bring them.
Yep. So here we go again. I I stepped out on my own. Audubon. Knew nothing about it, man.
I didn't even know. I never heard of it before.
Man.
Was it around? Was it a new school or it was already around?
Apparently, it's been in high school since 2013. They say.
I never heard of it before,
yeah,
bro.
Man. So
and they had a team and everything since 2013.
Nope, they just had a JV team.
Okay.
Had a JV team. So, Troy Coleman knew somebody in the building. We cooked it all up, which I'm gonna get into once we talk about some other things. So I get in the building. Now I don't get in the building, but I'm the coach. But I did find work in PA still that allowed me to do what I was doing during the day.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Which, man, God just been blessing me, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Did you bring some of your Hope kids?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I brought 6 initially. 6. But 2 decided to transfer right before the season.
Okay.
So it's cool though. It still worked out. And we won conference my first year there coaching. So we talk about a program that never won a JV game the year before. So now we win conference in the city, which is 3 different levels.
Yeah.
But to still say our first year of a varsity team win
Right,
conference.
now that's big time, bro.
And I had a 25-point score, and I had a 6'6" big.
I heard. I remember seeing dude in the paper, man.
Yeah, man. So we have really good team, man.
Bro, when did the city break down the divisions like that? Was that post-COVID or was it even before COVID they had like the 3 divisions like that?
Man.
Because that's new to me.
I want to say that started, bro. Maybe my first year at Audubon, I'll say that probably started. But yeah, that was my first year. And what's so funny, man, my first time, our game on YouTube, Fresh Coach 2.0, if you ever watch it. My first time coaching at Audubon, I got one of my best players in there. So mind you, ain't no hoopers at Audubon, obviously, besides the 4 I bring. So our first game, we play Go to My Ear, which is, like I said, it's on there. So now I'm down to 2 guys that transferred with me. I'm sorry, 3 guys that transferred me from Hope. Man, we was down like 20. Maybe we cut the lead to 6. And so basically, we almost won that game with 3 guys that know how to shoot, dribble, and pass.
Yeah.
Everybody else didn't know how to do nothing. Nothing, but just pass the ball, man.
Just bodies out there.
Yeah, man. So that's when I seen, like, you know what? These kids gonna be something. And then I started looking at myself like, dang, can I really do this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that was the pivotal moment for me. It wasn't a hope moment, honestly.
Yeah.
The hope moment is like I knew I could manage this group because they were so talented.
Yeah.
I understood them. They understood me.
Yeah.
Shout out to the coaching staff that was around at that time. And all my coaching staff that had helped me throughout the years, man.
Yeah.
That was a good journey my first year at Audubon.
Let me ask you, bro, in terms of schemes and like, what would you hang your hat on as a coach with them? Like, was it defense? Was it y'all could score? What was it?
Man, I'm going to be honest with you. And just to take it back a little bit, my favorite 2 programs when we was coming up was King, and the other one was Tulsa East.
Okay, yeah.
So, some people, growing up, we younger.
Yeah.
So, what you call this? Jerry Smith was my favorite
Man, shout
player
out to Jerry.
up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dog, he held the team down. They had one other dude, and everybody's like kind of role players.
Yeah.
So I hung on my hat on sharing the ball.
Yeah.
Everybody eats. That's what I shared it on. Let's move the ball. And let's pride ourselves defensively. Communicate. We do those things. Everybody gonna get theirs on the other end. You know what I mean? There's no shot clock, so we're gonna do a balance.
Right.
Sometimes we're gonna push it, and sometimes we're gonna run these sets that I got for y'all ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they bought into that. And you know what I mean? So, like I said, I seen that early with East. Along with seeing what guys was doing in the city.
Oh, yeah.
So my idea, if I put the 2 together with some athletes going up and down and running some sets, and I had a guy that can go get his own buck. I had 2 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how the formula kind of formulated for me as a coach, man.
Okay.
Obviously, as the years went on, I dissected different things, going to coaches' clinics and things that I added to my, to what I like to do and cater to. But mostly, man, I kind of cater around what I got.
Yeah.
I don't have a system and then force the kids to fit into my system.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
'Cause I feel like that's how a lot of the old school coaches
Exactly.
are. No, we do this. If you can't do this, you ain't playing.
Exactly.
And then, I'm with you, bro.
Exactly. So that's just a lot what I do on the coaching side of it. I lost a lot that year too, man, in terms of what we lost from that senior group.
Yeah.
shaky summer.
Yeah.
Shaky summer going back because now the administration had changed.
Oh, okay.
So now I got these new freshmen that I got coming over that were decent, and they're going to end up being good. But my leader, my best player, me and him wasn't seeing eye to eye at the time. And
was this the big guy?
Nope, he graduated, but it was the other kid that averaged 25, his younger brother, who would buck it.
Yeah.
Like, he be playing in grown man leagues getting 30.
Okay.
But fast forward, man, it was a word on the street, a rumor that I didn't like him. And it was a word on the street, he didn't like me.
Yeah.
So it was just unforced rumors.
Yeah.
I don't tell no other kid I don't like that kid, first and foremost. But I think he kind of, because I was riding his ass so much, man, I think he just kind of assumed that I didn't like him. But nah, man, you going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm on you, man. Something there. So he didn't play the whole summer with us. So that summer, we getting smacked up.
Yeah.
My other senior ain't play. And the other one would come here and there.
Yeah.
So we getting smacked up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. Fast forward, me and him get on track. My best player. He put the team on his back. They followed his lead. We went 19-6.
Okay.
The year before we went 17-4.
Okay.
So we go 19-6.
Yeah.
And one of the games that stood out to me is where that year a team that won state for D3.
Okay.
Or runner-up. I'm sorry, they won runner-up. We lost to them by 8 in the Terry Porter Classic.
Oh, that's solid. That's something to build on.
Yeah. And you just never know what these kids going through, man. Like, I had a kid on the team. Mother passed during the season. And this kid came the same day that the mother passed, man. So
that's tough.
That's why you have your whys. You never know what these kids going through, real. Man. Yeah. And just the passion that I only have for the game, but just for the community, man. And, you just never know. You never know what nobody's going through.
Yeah.
But I never forget that text when he told me, man, don't worry about it. Stay at home with the fam. I'm here if you need me.
Yeah.
Come to practice when you can. No pressure.
Let me ask you, Josh, bro, because I know you a coach, but what's the balance for you between being a coach and then kind of just being that figure? I ain't going to say father figure, but just that figure to mentor them kids to what they need off the court, bro.
I would say for me, I try not to do the father figure thing.
Yeah.
Only because I'm a newly father, one.
Right.
And then two, I think they kind of look at me as like a bigger brother. More than a father. So I kind of just play off of that. I'm not really the joking type with the kids, if I'm being honest with you. But sometimes we do have our times. I know some cats that just play with the kids nonstop.
Right. They remember
they think they both here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where people get it twisted. Like, I'm still here, but we can still have fun. It's that balance. But just know it's business first.
Facts.
Work hard, play hard type of thing, man. So that's kind of the balance that I took on. I mean, I'm like, shit, it's kind of been working, you know what I mean? Yeah. So just keeping that up, man, and just going to clinics and just, if you in it for the right reasons, I feel like everything else will work itself out.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
If you're not, that's where I feel like everything will unfold.
Yeah.
Things get exposed.
Yeah.
So I'm all big on the locker room, too.
Yeah.
What we talk about in here stays in here. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it, man. But to elaborate on that, we had a good season. People always ask me why I leave Audubon. I won't touch on that, but what I will say, and if you decide to coach what I can see you doing one day, administration is everything.
Yeah.
And if administration, you ain't on the same page,
right,
what we really doing?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're just hurting the kids.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at that point, while I was at Audubon, only lost 10 games. Mind you, I done coached against some of the best of them. Like, we ain't had no cookie schedule. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so I decided to move on from there, which was very, very, very unfortunate.
Yeah. How did the kids take it?
Man, they was hurt.
Yeah.
They was hurt, man. They was hurt.
Yeah.
But mind you, I don't think the administration had changed from when I first got there to the second year. So, that was the biggest thing, I would say.
Yeah, I had Q Montgrill on here, and he said the same exact thing. He was at Madison, and he was rolling with them. Then, like you said, administration didn't kind of believe in them when a new one came in, and he just had to go through hoops and just said, I'm good. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. Ant-Man on the ground. But, like, So when you leave Autobahn, bro, was you like, okay, I'm done coaching, or was you like, I'm gonna still keep up with this? What was the plan, bro?
Man, it really wasn't no plan. I really wanted to be there. I really, really did, man.
Mhm.
But you know, just kind of one of the things we see a better opportunity
Yeah.
for you and your family as well.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just got to jump on it.
Yeah.
The only thing I did regret, it just so happened to be at school in the same conference.
Yes.
That I
Yeah.
couldn't help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was just,
yeah.
you know, I was familiar with Reagan. My little brother played there.
Okay.
I knew the last coach.
Yeah.
I knew they had the support.
Mhm.
You know, not only from a financial part, but from the talks of what they want, it aligned with my vision.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's
Well,
why I went there.
What was the team looking like, bro, when you was interviewing for them? What was they looking like at the time?
I took a rebuilding situation.
Okay. That's
But-
actually that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
But if you heard my story, everything has been a rebuild.
Yeah.
Even from Hope,
Yeah.
I had a bunch of kids that started not taking it serious, started doing different things. So I got new kids there.
Mhm.
So that closed down. Now I go to Autobahn.
Mhm.
I take kids with me. Never been built up.
Mhm.
Then we start to win.
Mhm.
So that's kind of just been my thing. And you know,
Okay.
I was to this podcast, man. They say you have different type of coaches.
Mhm.
You got coaches that can start the program.
Mhm.
You got coaches that can take a program and take it to new heights.
Mhm.
And then you got them coaches who just have championship DNA.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure where I fit in that category or where I will, but I would say right now, my pedigree is taking something and making it better.
Mhm.
That's been my pedigree so far.
Mhm.
I do think I could win, you know, get to the championship DNA heights.
Mhm.
But, you know, that shit is rare. You know,
Oh, yeah.
that's your guys, that's your Deaners,
Yeah.
them type
man,
of guys.
Stamp, bro.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
The Waller Shines,
Yeah.
that's championship DNA. Gordon from Washington, that's championship
yeah.
DNA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But you got guys like me who see something, dissect something, and make
Mhm.
it better
Mhm.
instantly. It ain't taking 3-4 years. You see an instant change.
Mhm.
And a program builder, and I think that's kind of where I hang my hat on as of now.
I hear you, bro. Let me ask you this, bro. What was the difference between being at Autobahn and now you at Reagan, bro? What was like some of the differences in that transition?
They're both on the same side of town.
Yeah.
Only thing I can just say is support. That's
Yeah.
all I can say, man.
Mhm.
Kids are the same. You know, you hear Reagan is academically driven.
Yeah.
And things like that, but I won't go too much behind the scenes of the Autobahn situation. But
Mhm.
as a coach or any worker or employer, you just want support.
Yeah.
And you know, if you have to beg for it and do it, I'm good on that. That's not
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So coming up this upcoming season, man, who you bringing back, man? How you guys gonna be projected to look this year, man? This upcoming season.
Man, we lost 6 seniors. We lost 6 seniors.
Uh-oh, man.
But what I can say, man, those guys play really hard.
Mhm.
The returning guys play really hard, man, and just the energy. You know, they're gonna be eligible for the most part.
Mhm.
But these are guys that don't really prioritize basketball.
I
And
know.
if I can get guys that prioritize
Yeah.
basketball mixed with what these guys offer,
Mhm.
man, it's a championship.
Yeah.
It's a championship because I need those guys.
Mhm.
Those guys are our future
Yeah.
doctors, our lawyers, truck drivers, whatever the
Mhm.
case may be. You need those guys on the team to keep
Mhm.
everybody level-headed.
For sure.
You know what
For
I
sure.
mean? So I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully I am there this season. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff changes in the summer.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
high school that you'll learn that don't get too comfortable.
Mhm.
Not today. This ain't where you could keep a job 15 plus years and
I
sit
hear
down.
You. I hear you.
Stuff changes in the blink of an eye,
Yeah.
man. And I'm hoping this is my home that
Yeah,
I can
no,
build on
I hear you,
until
bro.
whatever comes next.
Are you and Shump in the same conference? Do y'all play soft at all? Or
Yep.
Okay, man. Shout out to bro, man.
Man, see, people don't know this, man. Shump became really a good friend of mine through coaching.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, he's older than us and things
Mhm.
like that, but I relate to dudes who's always themselves.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
who I was.
Mm.
I got guys like I'm sure you do that was in the streets.
Yeah.
But I got nerd friends that play the game. I
Mhm.
got hooper friends. I got football friends, like,
Mm.
but I'm always me.
Mm.
And I feel like he was that type of dude, like no matter what situation,
Yeah.
he was always him.
Mm.
And I coached against him when I was at Autobahn.
Mm.
And then moving forward, this year we were in the same conference.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
I even seen him evolve as a coach,
Yeah.
man. So shout out to him. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Some good dialogue here, man.
Man, if it's one
Sure.
team you looking forward to playing this year in the city, In terms of Reagan, man, who was that one team where you like, man, you gonna circle on the schedule, man? Give us a little preview.
Man, to be honest, not nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Do they have a rival at all?
They trying to make it Audubon, man.
Okay.
They trying to do that, man.
You ain't trying to hear that shit.
They ain't trying to do that, man. They trying to move on. They trying to put the kids against me.
Yeah.
You know, but I did go there and won.
Okay.
And then they came to Reagan and they won.
Okay.
So,
they trying to build it up.
Yeah,
okay.
man. And it's, as long as it could keep going where I started, even if it goes down a little bit, if it keeps going, I did my job.
Okay. That's what's up,
job,
man. Before we transition to other stuff, man, you got to speak on the bros one time. So my man is a member of Kappa Psi Phi. So I ain't gonna make
Kappa Alpha Psi.
My bad, Kappa Alpha Psi. I ain't gonna make it no gang-ish, but my family is alphas. I ain't an alpha, and I don't plan on pleasure, but my granddad is an alpha. My uncles is alpha. My goddads is alpha, you know what I'm saying? My dad is an alpha, so that's who I grew up around. But I do got families that's Kappas. Like Kurt, my cousin, is a Kappa, and just others. So I've seen what they do in the community, the brotherhood that they got. So just speak on that decision for you to go over, get with the red side, man. So just speak on that one time, bro.
Man,
say what you can.
Yeah, for
say
sure.
Say what you can. Say what you can. Yeah.
Honestly, man, it was one of the best decisions I made in my adulthood.
And when this was at Prairie, when you went over?
This was right before that.
Right before,
here in Milwaukee. And yes, I did. Ain't no paper. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
But what I will say, man, great experience, and everything was worth it. And I did my history. And here's a fun fact: they said 70% of the most financial men belongs in the fraternity.
Okay.
70%. So I took that and took it for what it was.
Yeah.
Just being around black men that has the same vision that I have as far as my career or with my family, and just share the same values, and believe in the same spirits and things like that. That's what drew me there, man. And I can't say the brotherhood is real, man.
That's what's up.
If I'm being honest with you, 2 times.
Yeah.
I got my interview at Hope off the strength who was my cousin, who's a Kappa, who knew the principal.
Okay.
Troy Coleman is a Kappa.
Okay.
He knew the principal at Audubon.
Okay.
Who's a Kappa. So if you see the trend, what I'm saying is we really look out for each other. Yeah. And I do the same. And I do the same for any guy. You ain't got to be in a frat. But if we cool, I'm going to look out for you. And that's just kind of been my MO. But it is a brotherhood. We do service in the community. I'm big on the black and brown community, which was another reason why I joined. Yeah. My vision aligned for what they do in the community, what I was already doing. You know what I mean? So it's been fun, man. It's been fun. And
that's what's up.
I missed my time in undergrad.
Yeah.
I was short 0.1 of the GPA requirement. So
yeah,
had to
you
go
do
the next.
Gotta,
yeah. So we strive for academic excellence. We strive to be in the community, man, and we just want to keep on uplifting our black man.
Yeah.
For sure. Brown man too, man. So
let me ask you this, bro. And like I said, I don't want to cause no friction, nothing like that. But in terms of Kappa, was that the only one you was considering? And you don't got to name the other ones, but was it like a bunch of them you was considering and you just chose Kappa? Or was it you just heard somebody approach you from Kappa and you knew right away, like, okay, this it?
Earlier in undergrad, I wasn't considering, but I was around one of the organizations. Because my cousin was friends with a lot of them.
Okay.
So I was around.
They're
like, yeah, you should do it, blah, blah. But how can I say this, man? When you're around guys, the guys you similar to.
Facts.
And it's no shade or nothing, but if this is a lifetime commitment, I want to, if I'm gonna do this, I want to be around the guys that I can relate to more, and that's just all it came down, man. The values and who I relate to more. That's all it came down to, man.
I'm with you.
I don't care regardless of the color, man. I just hate the stigma that it gets now. I do feel like Greek life is kind of watered down now. It ain't what we grew up on, and definitely what the 90s used to be. Just having that black pride is what it's all about, because you have to remember, growing up, we didn't have no education. When we look at our lineage, we had no education. So when people come out with these for us to better the community, you gotta like it. You gotta support it. You ain't gotta join it, but you gotta be like, you know what? I respect that.
Yeah.
And that's what it was about for me. Being a guy with an educational background, you know, that it just really drew my attention, man. But you know, shout out to Kappa, man. If any brother that's watching this, man, I just want to say thank you, man, because some of those guys, especially the OGs, that's who I really, really tap in with. They just be passing the knowledge down, man.
Yeah.
That's, and you know, the pockets grow. You know what I mean? So that's another thing I want to throw out there, man.
I hear you. I'm gonna just say, I don't make no side, man. Universal shout out to all of y'all. But just in terms of that one more frat question, we can move on, bro. When that stuff happened a few months ago, I think it was with Omega Psi Phi with dude dying like that. Did y'all like come together and be like, okay, man, this can't happen with us? Was that a thing, or it was just kind of like unspoken? That was crazy.
It's really not unspoken, and yes, man, I hate to hear those tragic stories. But I would just say in a nutshell, every organization has to do better to prevent what happened to that young man. And man, I just sometimes you just don't have the words for stuff like that. But I think when organizations are put in that situation, it is a cause for a pause. Like, yo, let's bring it back. What we really doing? You know, what we doing it for? And so we always revisit that conversation as well. But even for myself, when you hear things like that, it challenged me to do something else within the fraternity. So I'm currently director of scholarships. Where we have our Dare to Dream scholarship, which closes if anybody has a kid out there. A kid out there that's a senior. The application closes May 1st, and it's for $1,000. And if you finish your first year of college, you have a chance to renew that scholarship. So I'm overseeing the panel. We have good brothers on the panel. It requires an interview, you know, transcripts, your grades, all of that, man. So just throw that out there because we are, you know, for the community, man.
That's what's up, man. And I will say, shout out to the beautiful sisters of the Divine Nine too, moms, grandma, they AKAs and my aunt. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to the sisters from the Delta too. I got a couple friends in that organization. But man, just shout out to all y'all coming together for sisterhood and brotherhood, man. I'm neutral when it comes to it. Like I'm neutral, but shout out to the brothers who doing it right. Sure. But now, man, I want to just tap into fatherhood, man. You say you had a little lady, man. So just speak on that one time, bro.
Man,
just great, being a, I'll say it. I don't like the term, but girl dad. So just speak on that one time,
love it,
bro.
Man.
Yeah.
I love it. It was everything I dreamed for.
Yeah.
Like the way she act, even the way she looked, everything I dreamed for is her, man. But I couldn't do it without her mother. Mother's a great mother.
That's what's up.
We both come from great families. And, you know, when you mate with somebody, whether it works or not, you always do the background. Like, okay, if this doesn't work, if something happened to me, you got your family, what does that look like? Or if something happened to her, I have my family. If she wasn't around, God forbid, what does that look like for the child? So, man, I'm blessed. I just say that, man. I wake up every day just with a smile on my face for the most part. You know, these girls take us there. They take us there, man. But this is one of the greatest journeys that I've ever endured. I've seen growth within myself. You know, I had one late, so you know, it wasn't in my 30s or nothing, but it wasn't in my early 20s either. But I'm just grateful for the timing. The timing of everything, and I'm grateful for the time that we all do get to spend with each other. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you, bro, because I got two little girls myself, dog. What is the balance for you between, okay, I want to be nurturing, I want to be loving, I want to be that guy that, you know, attends to her soft side, but I also got to lay it out in the law when it's time and give discipline, bro. So what's the balance for you?
I'll be honest, I'm still working on that balance.
Yeah.
Because I got such a soft side, man.
Yeah, when you see her, you look at her.
I got a soft side I didnn't know I had.
Oh, yeah, they bring that out.
I didn't know I had. I'm like, man, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
You know? I know you just did something wrong, but I need to be on that a little more with you on the other side. But, man, I'm just grateful, man. I'm working on it every day. Every day won't look the same, as you know.
Facts.
So, as long as she grows up to be an amazing person, which I know she will, we've did our part. We've did our part.
How old is little lady?
Be 4 in June.
So she about a year older than my little one.
Yeah, we gotta tap in, man. You know,
we
once
do.
we reveal it, we gotta tap in, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Play dates, all that, man. She love hanging out with little kids her age, man. Her cousins was just over here today, tore up the house, but man, have fun, man. So
Listen,
definitely, bro.
You spoke on cousins and stuff. That's our man. We gotta go see somebody every single day.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to teach you that's not life, baby. You want to have fun every week. Go somewhere every day. Yeah. And I think, you know, she got accustomed to it because in her eyes, I probably get everything.
Yeah.
We have fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as I can have her not worry and what we are doing is the normal to her.
Yeah.
You know, and not wherever she ventures off for school. Not thinking she doesn't have enough. I want her to be comfortable of who she is and what she has. And I never want her to put in a position where she feels like she's not enough or doesn't have enough.
Did you start school already with her?
We're going into K4 this
K4?
fall. Yeah.
And what's your feelings about that, man? Sending her off to school,
man,
bro.
I'm sad, but I'm excited. I think she's ready.
Okay.
She's ready right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She's ready. She's literally ready right now. Not just saying that because she's mine, but she's literally ready right now.
Yeah.
You know, she's starting to dress herself and things like that,
what's up,
man.
Look. She a diva?
Yeah.
Mine is too, bro.
Yeah. I'll be trying to sprinkle a little athletic stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? But look, whatever she want to do, I'm a supporter. But we gotta have a plan though. We ain't just gonna be just doing as time go on. We ain't gonna be doing stuff that don't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We gotta have a plan. And everything gotta matter. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what's up, man. So now we gearing towards the end of the conversation, and like I said, the episode is called Family Ties. So I want to say, a month ago, I got a message on Facebook. Actually, a little longer than that.
About 3 probably.
Yeah. So Keith was actually the first one who messaged me, but he just asked for a haircut, and I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
I ain't respond. I'm like, I don't know, dude. So I just didn't respond. Then he asked again, and I told him the pricing, but I still was kind of weird. I'm like, I just don't know, bro.
And it's at your house. I respect.
Yeah. So fast forward, I think Eli hit me up and was like, wrote me a long message like, I'm such and such. My grandfather is this person. Do you know him? I'm like, that's my uncle. So I'm like, dang, like I could be your cousin. And then I'm like, okay, do you know such and such because their last names matched up? And he was like, yeah, that's my dad. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So we was able to talk, and we was planning meetings and stuff. And what kind of just like stamped it, you hit me up and was like, such and such, blase. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna embrace them. We met. When I seen Eli in person, I ain't really never seen nobody who really looked like me like that. I'm like, bro, like he could be my little brother. And then like Keith looked just like my uncle. I'm talking about like whole face, build, everything. And I'm like, you can't deny it. You could try and be like, man, I don't know them, but that'll look weird. So we met up, we had dinner, and that was just cool. And then it was just them two. Then we planned to have a whole family here.
Right.
So I invited my family too, and I could tell they was a little like, my dad was like that to most. He had that nervous energy.
Right.
But when all of them came out the car and they walked in the house, Mira was the first one in, and she had her baby.
Right.
When my dad held the baby, it was like the biggest icebreaker. Then Keith and my dad stood side by side, and I'm like, yeah, you really can't. You really can't deny that, man. And it was just a good night. Then we just before we ate dinner, man, we had him in the kitchen, and like Keith spoke, teared up and had the whole house like just crying, like, dang, man, it's good to see y'all. And it was a beautiful moment. And then weeks later, my dad was like, man, thank you for getting us together and doing this. I'm like, man, I can't take credit for that, man. Like, had it not been for Josh, I still would have, talked and met with Eli, but like you just kind of made that transition way easier. So I had to tell you thank you to your face, man. Cause like, just to know, cause I always had a feeling like I ain't had that much family in the city. Like we got a big family, but it's like dispersed over the country.
Right.
And we didn't have a lot of cousins in the city. But I always feel like, man, they gotta be somebody else here. Just like somebody else.
Close to your age.
Yeah, man. And then like, so Charlie, that's Keith's dad, my Uncle Charlie. He got a big family, but all of them, I'm saying, moved around. So it's just us pretty much. So to now have, what is Keith, Nas, Amira, Eli, his lady, Caden, Mirror Baby, like Sheldon, all of them, like, that's dope, bro. So just speak on just playing your part in that, man. And like I said, I'm just so appreciative of you, the role you played with all that, man.
Yeah, man. So I'm just big on family, man.
Yeah,
and you know, anybody that know me, they'll tell you like, bro, just cool. About family, friends, and God, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
But I grew up with Eli. You know, he's a little younger than me, man. And you know, he spoke to me for the first time in terms of like, man, you know, growing up, I watched you.
Yeah.
Like everything you did, I wanted to do. Like I was his big brother influence. Like I spoke on my uncle, which is my mom's little brother, was that influence for me.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of the music I listened to or the clothes I put on, he kind of got that from me and things like that. So I was like, man, I never knew you felt like that. And maybe you don't know, he ended up going to Riverside himself.
Yeah.
So again, that was that influence piece. So I used to pick him up his freshman year, you know, every morning. You know what I mean? Because we stay like 3 minutes apart from each other. So our grandmothers are sisters, and then our parents, our first cousins, and then you got us, man. So we've been tapped in since he was probably about 4. You know what I mean? And just love the fam. Keith been a stand-up guy since I met him.
Yeah.
You know, and then the whole family tree, man. But aside from that, I just want to say, man, I'm glad y'all found each other.
Yeah.
Me or not,
Yeah.
I'm glad y'all found each other, man.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing in life. And if y'all didn't within this year, maybe it would have happened in 10 years. You just never know how life works, man. I mean, maybe it would have just been in the grocery store, not through social media, man. But I mean, I can't take the credit, man. Y'all made it happen. Y'all could have said no.
Yeah.
But y'all didn't, man. But as long as y'all met, I remember he told me he wanted to do it, and man, do it. Be cool, Mark, cool, do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad it all worked out, bro.
Yeah,
and,
man.
You know, you're welcome, bro.
It worked out this summer, bro. We gotta have everybody over once again, man. Cause like I look at you as my cousin now, just how that whole thing played out, man. So we gotta have some food on the grill, man. Have y'all over, man. The playoffs is going on right now, so maybe if our Bucks can last, you know, we can have y'all over, man. Have some food, man, and just talk, and just to know I got other cousins who play sports. That was another thing too, man. Like I ain't had no guy cousins who hooped or played football. So Nas played football and hoop.
Nas was actually cold.
You
You actually had one of my other cousins on here. That Big Rod, my cousin on my dad's side.
Man, what, man? Shout out to Rock, man. Come on, Milwaukee too small, man. Shout out to Rock,
tapped in with a lot of people.
Yeah,
like,
man.
People be like, man, ain't no way you relate to all. I really be though.
Yeah.
Like,
and jokingly, I asked this man before this if he was related to Alonzo G, former NBA player, and he was like, yeah. So this is the connector. This guy is the connector to everybody right here, man.
I mean, if you look who Lonzo, you'll see the resemblance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Cuz played in the NBA. He had that stint with the Cavs as soon as LeBron left, but he was really good. But that just shows, man, just in the DNA, man. So, man, I appreciate you for having me, man.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, you know, Lonzo definitely was a bucket.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
definitely
for real.
Even
Big
in college
body.
at Alabama, like, he was a bucket. He probably played about 8 years in the league.
Solid. So, bruh, I asked this question to everybody on the show, and I think you know what it is, bruh. OG Josh, who you are now, the dad, the coach, you know what I'm saying, doing what you're doing, smart in finance, just know how to move correctly. If you had to speak to young Josh at Riverside who just tore his ACL, Josh at Lane who bumped his head, what would you say to him, man?
Leave them girls alone. No, but
get that. No, it's You ain't lying, bro.
Man, but more importantly, just stay focused.
Yeah.
Just stay focused,
Yeah.
man. And all of those mistakes shape me who I am. That sounds cliche, but if I just walked and live a perfect life, how do I know what it really feels to hit rock bottom to get to where we ultimately want to go, right? And it's ultimately what you make it, right? So myself, I wouldn't change much, honestly. I would just make better decisions. Who I am as a person, how I talk, how I walk, who I communicated with, I wouldn't change any of that. All my old relationships as far as friends, I wouldn't change any of those. The ones that lasted and the ones that didn't. But I just wish I made better decisions. And that's all. I love who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am. And if I wasn't, people just wouldn't vouch. You know, it's something off with dude. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just a big person. Just stay who you are. Believe who you are. Believe in yourself. Everything will work out. Regardless of the bumps in the road, everything will work out.
That's dope, man. One more question, bro. Just in terms of your faith journey and you believing in God, bro, how does that help be a backing to you and a foundation to you, bro, going through life, especially as a dad, man? How does your faith come into play?
Man, I pride myself on that.
Yeah.
I really do, man. And just I could be closer to God, I feel. You know, we young. You know, this ain't the 70s and 80s and 90s where guys our age already found God in their 20s, 21.
Yeah.
I wasn't that guy, and I'm still, I know him, and I know my faith, but I even think the older I get and the wiser I get, you know, it's a deeper part that I could connect with still.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the guy that has it all together now. I don't want that, because then now what my 50s look like.
Right.
Like, how do I can continue to grow within faith? Knowing that I have faith and knowing that it's strong is good enough for me. And knowing who I pray to every night and who I'm going to see at the end of the day is what matters to me.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Well, bruh, if you got any shout outs to give, man, anything you want to push before we get up out of here, man, the floor is yours, homie.
Shout out to the fam on both sides. Shout out to the daughter, Lauren. Shout out to, man, just it's so many. It's so many, so I'm not even going to get into the shout out game. Shout out to all the coaches, though, that have helped me with the journey. Shout out to all the coaches who have helped me as a player throughout my own journey. Shout out to the kids who were coachable and who weren't coachable, because I learned something from that as well, man. But shout out to the parents that sent their kid to me and believed in me, man. Just shout out for the unwavering support, man. I don't really have much to say. I can go, my list of, man, this would be a whole nother 30 minutes if I had a list, but I ain't going to do that, man. Just know I rock with who rock with me, and I've just been like that since day one. But I do want to give a shout out to one of my best friends, Roy Marshall, man, that blessed me with that intro. Real good brother. And if y'all don't know him from back in the day, you was sleeping. Dog had like a 42-inch vertical.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But just to have those friendships still lasting, man, that means something to me, man. So, and shout out to you, man, the family, for having me here, man. And
appreciate that.
On this lovely Sunday, man. So just God bless to everybody, man.
I think that's the mic drop moment. I'm going to edit this up, man. Hopefully it could be out tomorrow or the day after. Get upstairs with these kids, man. Watch these games, man. Eat a little something, man, and try to enjoy the rest of Sunday. But, man, that's Josh G, the homie, man. Did his thing on the show, man. Excellent job, homie. It's Mark Pace. It's Cut Talk. We are out.